fine. Like, I mean, depending on what life total they're at, the card is just so powerful. So here we go. Welcome to round 3. I'm Gavin Verhey. I'm here with Jacob Van Lunen at the Star City Games Open here in Louisville, Kentucky. We're about to watch a match between Anthony Eason and Sam Stoddard. Now, we have the benefit of knowing what both of these players are playing. On your left, or I should start with on your right. On your right is Sam Stoddard playing a Darkblade deck. It was handed to him by Jarvis Yu, and it's pretty close to the deck that the same kind of deck that was running around last week and doing well. On your left, though, Anthony Eason playing a much less typical strategy.
Yeah, this is not a deck we've seen before, and I believe both these players are 2-0. Yeah. So
they're 1-1.
Oh, they're 1-1?
Yeah, they're 1-1 at this point.
Oh, okay.
Sam lost round 1. So Anthony Eason, why don't you tell them what he's playing, Jake? It's a pretty interesting little deck.
All right, Anthony Eason is playing a red-black aggro deck that uses a ton of cards with Phyrexian mana symbols on them. A ton of them. Immolating Soul Eaters, Taxium Probes, Dismembers, Spellskite, and then he has Death Shadow, who in his deck is a veritable 10/10 for 1 mana. And he can just kill people out of nowhere. He also has Assault Strobe with Immolating Soul Eater and Fling with Immolating Soul Eater. So there are going to be a lot of games where he just kills his opponent out of nowhere. I'm excited to see how Anthony's deck actually plays out. I haven't seen a game played with it. On paper, it looks really powerful. He has Inquisitions and other cards that just are generally strong in this format, along with a kind of Sly shell. And I believe we're calling this deck Phi Sly.
Phi Sly is what we're calling
Phi
it.
Sly.
Yeah. Because of all the Phyrexian cards, and then the Sly nature of the deck.
All right, looks like Anthony might have to go down to 5 cards here. Oh, no. All right, so Anthony leads off with an Inquisition. He's going to see a Stoneforge, a Go for the Throat, and a Mana Leak that he can take alongside Jace the Mind Sculptor. A pretty nice hand for Sam there. Now, even though he doesn't have the mana to cast the Stoneforge, I think it's probably right to take it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, his other options, Go for the Throat or Mana Leak. I think that Stoneforge is just going to be such a problem. Plus, the Stoneforge can block the early guys. If you take it takes the Mana Leak. That's interesting because I would have taken either Go for the Throat or Stoneforge before. I was thinking about Go for the Throat because it does kill your guys, but it depends what plan you're on if you're Anthony Eason. Looks like he's got Kiln Fiends, but does Anthony have a red source?
No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is bad news for Anthony Eason.
Yeah, this game is going to get out of hand pretty quickly. And if he doesn't draw a red source and a way to kill that Stoneforge immediately, there's going to be a Batterskull on the table. Ooh, or Sword of Feast and Famine.
It looks like...
He doesn't know what Anthony's playing at all, either.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's seeing a Swamp. You're like, oh, Sword of Feast and Famine.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems like the best thing I could possibly get here,
I guess. It's, I'm guessing Anthony took the Mana Leak there off his Inquisition because he knew he was going to, figured he'd miss some land drops and didn't want to be hit by that, and his Kiln Fiend was too important. Now he's got too many cards. Flashes that in. Sam Stoddard flashes in a Sword and Feast and Famine. And that Feast is going to connect here. If you're Anthony Eason, do you continue playing this game?
No, I pack it in.
You just pack it in immediately to hide what you're playing, right? Oh. Nope.
And
looks like a gut shot and another gut shot. All right, well, the jig is up.
Yeah.
Double gut shot comes down for Anthony Eason to deal with that Stoneforge Mystic when Sam Stoddard equips it. And Anthony's not in a great spot, and he doesn't draw a land. He really needed a land there to pull back in that game. He's just sitting on a swamp now.
And Sam's just going to cast a Jace.
Yeah. See what happens. The double gut shot is probably not something Sam Stoddard was expecting.
Definitely not something he was expecting.
Like he was like, well, maybe he could disfigure me, but no, the double gut shot.
I think I would definitely expect a disfigure before I expect a double gut shot in that spot.
Still no land for Anthony Eason. How many cards are we in now? Looks like he's drawn probably 4 or 5 cards.
Yeah, 4 after his initial 6, so 10 cards in, 1 land. Not even Jataxian probes, which he's playing 4 of, to find another land.
Yeah, the probes are, just a free cantrip.
And it's a Batterskull.
Yeah, now Sam Stoddard knows the right equipment to find in this matchup.
He might just get a Sword of War and Peace, because he could just kill his opponent, right? No, it's a Batterskull.
I mean, Sword of War and Peace would probably be reasonable here, but Batterskull is going to get the save job done. Plus, it gives him another creature in case he's worried about that Stoneforge Mystic die. Going to connect with the sword here, lay that Batterskull, and Sam Stoddard is in a pretty dominating position this game. So he equips. Looks like he's going to Fate Seal Anthony, keeping him off lands.
Put a card on bottom.
Inquisition you. Once again, I don't know if I would give him the information of what's hiding over there.
Yeah, but, now Sam knows everything.
Yeah, if you just...
there's no way you can win this game, right? Don't you just... that information's pretty valuable to Sam for sideboarding.
Yeah, 100%. Even if you even have an idea of what's going on, you don't expect maybe some of the cards that you saw there. You don't expect the spell skites, for example, right?
Right, and I also think it's strange that Anthony chose to use his fetch land on his own turn when his opponent has the active Jason play.
Yeah.
So he could have,
he's going to lay that spell skite.
Oh, yeah, spell skite blocks the Sorted Stoneforge. That makes sense.
You can still just bounce the spell skite. I don't know. It seems like Anthony's just so far out of this game. But maybe he's the national champion. Maybe he still thinks he's got a shot. We'll see what happens. Here comes Batterskull. I don't know. That's Stoneforge Mystic's going to connect. He's going to untap his lands. I don't know how Anthony is going to win this game. I would have just packed it in last turn.
I also would have packed it in. All right, so Sam plays Squadron Hawk. He's going to look through his deck and find another 3 copies of Squadron Hawk.
It's a good, pretty...
So I think he now has more cards in his hand than Anthony, also, in addition to having... in addition to having 500% of the board that Anthony has.
He just has everything he could possibly need.
And now when Anthony plays the Spell Skite, now he has a bird to just fly right over. And Anthony's tapped out too, so he can safely just attach that Batterskull.
Yeah, you probably just go -1 here, bounce your spell skite, attack you. I don't think if Anthony sent any combination of cards in the format, I don't know if he could win this game.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
There's 2 more Squadron Hawks. Sam is just like, you're really going to make me do this? And,
Crack for 8, put Anthony at 3.
Gain 4 life, discard a card, I'll untap all my lands.
All right. 3 life. Oh, Anthony draws the red source.
Oh.
And he packs it in.
And then he decides to concede. All right, let's go to sideboards here. Now, we don't have deck lists in front of us, but what do you think Sam Stoddard's bringing? So he's playing Darkblade. He probably has some more... here are the deck lists.
imagine he's going to have disfigures. Let's see what he's got here.
All right, let's see.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
All right, so Mirror Angel, Batterskull, Duress, Spell Skite, Flash Freeze, Divine Offering, and a single Go for the Throat.
Okay, so he's definitely bringing in a second Batterskull here. He's probably going to want to bring in the Spell Skites. He sees that Anthony has cards like Assault Strobe and things like that, and like Fling. I'm sure you can expect Fling if he saw an Assault Strobe. That makes Spell Skite really strong, obviously.
Yeah.
So he's going to be bringing in 1 Batterskull and 3 Spell Skites, in my opinion, and he'll probably be taking out his Jaces. They're pretty bad here, actually. They seemed good there, but...
Do you think you want a Flash Freeze in this matchup?
I don't think you do on the draw, maybe on the play.
Okay. I agree. I think on the draw it's a little too slow. You're only hitting a couple cards with it, and you can't afford to leave 2 mana untapped. You're going to be wanting to cast your removal spell.
Yeah, if they play a 2-drop, and then you have to, leave 2 mana open to use your cards effectively, you're just going to end up they could just keep bashing you.
Right. Interesting to note about Go for the Throat. It doesn't kill Immolating Soul Eater because it's an artifact, so you have to be careful about that one.
Immolating Soul Eater killed people on turn 3.
As far as Anthony Eason, wow, what a crazy deck. So we'll just run down the list here real fast for everyone listening in. 4 Immolating Soul Eater, 4 Death's Shadow, 4 Kiln Fiend, 3 Spellskite, 2 Dismember, 2 Fling, 2 Duress, 3 Assault Strobe, 3 Gut Shot, 4 Inquisition, 4 Bolt, 4 Jataxian Probe, 2 Apostle's Blessing. Now in the sideboard, first card down, 4 Mental Misstep.
Awesome.
So just another card off color. You're just going to hit 1-drops with it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean, he may actually bring that in here, because there's no way he can know that Sam doesn't have Disfigures. And Sam's probably leaving in his discard spells, too, and his preordains. So the Mental Missteps, like, have value.
I can see bringing those in if there are enough cards you wanted to take out. I don't know what he's going to want to remove here.
Well, I think you take out the Assault Strobes and the Flings, right?
So you think you want to go for a longer game plan as opposed on the play? I mean, it seems like maybe
you don't on the play. You're right.
On the play, like you can just get so many free wins because if they have go for the threat.
I just worry like if I'm Anthony, I'm just so scared of like if he's Darkblade, he has Spellskites in his 75. I worry about him just playing a turn 2 Spellskite. And Assault Strobe looks really awkward when it's targeting your opponent's Spellskite.
I agree with that. Would Anthony maybe bring in his Dark Tutelage this year too? Like that's also got to be a card just for this matchup, right? You just have card advantage over time.
That's got to be huge here. Yeah.
The 3 Dark Tutelage in Anthony Eason's sideboard seemed like quite a blowout.
And I mean, if he's bringing in the Dark Tutelage and like taking out the Flings and Assault Strobes, maybe he just takes out the Immolating Soul Eaters.
Yeah, I mean, I think what actually is probably a sideboard plan with this deck, and maybe we'll see that happen in this game, is you just take out your quick start, you bring in a longer game plan, and hope to lean on that a little bit. We might even see a couple of the Go for the Throats come in to deal with some of the early creatures. Kills a Batterskull token, kills Stoneforge Mystic.
It's really important for Anthony to kill a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic too, because he can't let it put the turn 3 Batterskull into play. It's just too strong.
So Anthony's Jataxian Probes before anything else.
All right, so full information.
Goes down to 18, gets Sam Stoddard hand. Looks like Sam had Duress on a Mirror Angel, a bunch of lands. I couldn't quite see what the other spells were. Then he Duresses him.
All right, so
takes that Duress.
Duress for Duress. And he knows Sam has a Stoneforge for turn 2, and he knows Sam has a Mirror Angel for turn 4. Ideally, what Sam wants to be doing is casting or using a Stoneforge's ability on turn 3, but we know for a fact that that's not going to happen. Sam's going to go ahead and play the Stoneforge Mystic. This is almost certainly going to grab Batterskull. Baneslayer Angel is good against red decks. Someone told me that once.
Yep, and
they were right.
And a 4/4 Baneslayer Angel is no different. Plus, the Vigilance is pretty important here too.
Oh, it's huge.
You can serve in, and then not against this particular red deck all the time.
And if they kill it, you can just return it to your hand and cast it again.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't even leave play when you kill it.
Bolt down that Stoneforge Mystic. And hitting the bolt on the Stoneforge Mystic there is very important.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like I remember when Stoneforge Mystic first started seeing play, it was a card you didn't want to use removal spells on because you ended up behind when you used a removal spell. They already got a card out of it.
Right.
But now that you have like cards like Batterskull and you're a red deck, you absolutely 100% need to get rid of those cards immediately. All right, there's an Inquisition, and he's probably going to nab this Death Shadow or Bolt, depending. Right now, Death Shadow doesn't do anything, so...
So he did leave in an Assault Strobe there. And Sam's looking at that Mirror Angel in his hand and thinking, well, if I just get that Bolt out of the way, this Angel can come down. And tokens are definitely a big issue for Anthony Eason's deck, but he decides to go with taking the Death Shadow instead.
I mean, I like taking the Death Shadow there. When you take the Death Shadow, what you say is like, all right, well, I don't know what your deck does, but I do know that I have no idea where Death Shadow belongs. And if that's the case, then you want to kill the Death Shadow.
Right.
That's like a good lesson to learn is when you Thoughtseize your opponent, you have no idea why a certain card's there, take that card.
It's the Chris Pakula rule, right? If you don't know why something is there, just always kill it. There's always good reason, and it's never what you want to see. So Anthony Eason with the Kiln Fiend there. We know he's got Assault Strobe in his hand. We know he has Lightning Bolt in his hand. And we'll probably see a Mirror Angel come down for Sam Stoddard here, or does he have a way to deal with that Kiln Fiend?
I think Sam probably wants to get more value out of his Amiri Angel. He's not really under that much pressure right now. He may just serve with the Creeping Tar Pit to draw a bolt. Nope. Looks like he's going to play the Amiri Angel.
There's the Angel. Now, Anthony can just bolt the Angel, crack in for 4, and then Assault Strobe it to make that 8. If he has another spell, that could be pretty disastrous.
Oh, he does. I think he has a gut shot, too.
Oh, my. All right, here we go. Assault Strobe, that makes it a 3. Lightning Bolt, that makes it a 5. Sam cracks Fetch Land in response to get a token.
Well, that actually makes it 4 and then 7. It's +3/+0.
Oh, +3?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so big.
Oh, man. I were building on a budget. I kill and fiend all the time.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never cast a Kill and Fiend in constructed before, but I'm just not that kind of guy. I have played with a lot in limited though, so I should know that. I love the.
Yep, and that's lethal. That's 20 points of damage.
Well.
No, it's 20 points of damage.
20 points of damage.
That's it.
Wow.
I did not expect Anthony to win that game. That was awesome.
That is what Anthony's deck tries to do. Very nice. So yeah, out of nowhere, Kiln Fiend, untap, 1 spell, 2 spell, 3 spell. Third one is, or the first one is an Assault Strobe, whatever order. Kill all your blockers, attack you for 20, double striking, lethal damage.
That's definitely not something Sam expected.
19-0.
Sam's got to be kicking himself right now because if he had taken any other card with his discard spells at any point,
right,
he wins that game.
Yeah, I mean, if he takes the Bolt over the Death Shadow, that game is much different.
Yeah.
I mean, he still, yeah, I mean, the Mirror Angel comes down, he still gets a token, and yeah. Gut Shot was the card Anthony needed to have that turn, and he found it.
Yeah, and sometimes you get there.
Yeah. Now Sam's going to be on the play for this game, and now do you think we see those Flash Freezes coming?
I think they're significantly more likely to come in now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can hold it on turn 2. He hasn't seen Immolating Soul Eater yet, but he can probably safely guess they're in there. Yeah. Let's see. And then maybe for Anthony, I don't know if his game plan's going to change. I mean, obviously left Assault Strobe in that game. I don't know if maybe you want Dark Tutelage. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think you want Dark Tutelage here, especially like on the draw against.
Yeah, I mean,
a deck like
it just seems like the matchup you want it for, right? You just have continuing source of card advantage.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna play against Drogo in this tournament at all. So if it's in that sideboard,
let's see.
He's either decided that he didn't want it in his sideboard after the fact, or it's coming in here.
Let's see. How good do we think Apostle's Blessing is in this matchup?
Probably not great. I guess, you know what? Naming white and targeting an Immolating Soul Eater, a Death Shadow, or a Kiln Fiend might just kill your opponent.
Naming white seems pretty good. You can also respond to removal spells too, which is pretty nice. On the flip side, it's a reactive card. You're already on the draw, so it's hard to know. All right, players drawing their opening hands.
Anthony's got a keeper. Sam's going back to 6 cards here. That is an Immolating Soul Eater, so he kept those in also.
So he does have the Soul Eaters, and if Sam is banking on Go for the turn, that's going to be a problem. Sam also is taking a trip down to Paris with a mulligan to 6 here. That is not what he wants to see in this matchup. You really want all the cards you can so you can deal with all of Anthony's threats. And
you know, one of the true strengths of the Caw-Blade decks, though, is how well they mulligan. Cards like Stoneforge Mystic and Squadron Hawk really make mulligans a lot softer. And that's one of the reasons why we see the deck do so consistently well. If you play games where everybody always has 7 cards, Caw-Blade is not quite as menacing when you look at the numbers. But when you look at games where, you know, both players are mulliganing or where players are struggling, Caw-Blade is the deck that really, really comes out of those situations well. And, you know, it has many Jaces, it has Stoneforges and Squadron Hawks all to get back in the game. And it's hard to beat people who do that.
I've played a lot of Caw-Blade, and I'm mulligan down to 5 or even 4 in one match just because you play a turn 2 Hawk or turn 2 Mystic. There's an Inquisition from Sam Stoddard, and that's a pretty good start.
And there's the Dark Tutelage.
There's the tutelage. And, I mean, you can look at that immolating Soul Eater, but I think that tutelage is going to be such a big problem. Sam is kind of grimacing here. He's like, well, that tutelage is going to be an issue, but that Soul Eater is going to be a problem. I think you have to take the tutelage depending on what's in your hand, but you're not happy to see that Soul Eater right there, especially with Death's Shadow in his hand, too.
Yeah. Sam suddenly understands why he has a feature match this round at 1-1.
All right, so he decides to take the Soul Eater.
Inquisition off the top.
That's pretty nice for Anthony Eason. Oh, it's going to pluck Squadron Hawk.
Yeah, definitely plucking a Hawk here. His opponent only has 1 blue, so he can't even play both the Preordains next turn. Oh, that's pretty strong. Sam drew a Spellskite. Puts Anthony in a pretty bad spot.
All right, Spellskite. So Anthony tops decks that Inquisition, but Sam has a pretty good top deck of his own with that Spellskite. Of course, the problem is if Sam can't find some kind of engine to fast, Anthony's going to set up that Dark Tutelage next turn and just start wrenching control of this game by drawing 2 cards every single turn. And Anthony is in no way in danger of losing the game from taking damage off that tutelage. Sam, is that? I see a Seachrome Coast there. Is that 2 lands? Aridamesa Seachrome Coast?
Yeah, and I believe that might be a Sword of Body and Mind. Or not Body and Mind, War and Peace.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the...
It's some kind of sword. Looks like a land sword.
It might actually not be bad to just leave the sword on top and try to equip my Spellskite with a sword game.
Yeah.
But Anthony does have 2 burn spells, so...
Okay, so I think that was a Seachrome Coast on top.
So he bought them both and got a Stoneforge.
Yeah.
And that's pretty huge.
Yep. So yeah, it was a sort of War and Peace he sent to the bottom. And he's found exactly the card he needed, or one of the... When we say exactly the card you need in Cobblade, there are so many exactly the card you need. It's just such a powerful deck. He could have drawn Squadron Hawk there, which would have been good too, but Stoneforge Mystic was definitely good. And you probably get Batterskull here, right?
Oh, I definitely get Batterskull.
He's looking at that sword, and he goes for the sword.
All right.
So Feast and Famine is the avenue Sam Stoddard is choosing to take. And cracks Verdant Catacombs.
All right, so he'll use his life total as a resource a little bit there, and he'll go ahead and he'll get rid of that Spellskite. He forces Sam. He targets the Stoneforge Mystic with a Lightning Bolt, forcing Sam to use 2 life, and every life point counts when you're fighting with the red deck. So
definitely, he moves it to the Spellskite. Do you think leaving Spellskite in play over Stoneforge Mystic is better there?
Well, you make your opponent use 2 spells if you redirect.
To kill the...
Because he targeted the Stoneforge Mystic, so you don't know what other spell he has. So,
sure.
Like, if you just let the Stoneforge Mystic die, then he just used 1 card to deal with it. But if you redirect, then he has to use another card to actually kill the Spellskite.
Do you mean the Mystic?
No, he has to use another card to actually kill the Spellskite. He had to use the Gut Shot from his hand.
Yeah, I mean, using the Gut Shot is super valuable. Is that a Despise from Sam Star there? Yeah. I mean, using the Gut Shot or another card to kill it is pretty valuable. I agree leaving Stoneforge Mystic or redirecting is the correct play. I was just wondering if there was a line of play where maybe you let the Mystic die. But all right, there's a bolt on that Mystic. Down comes the sword. But that Dark Tutelage is going to be a big problem for Sam Stoddard.
Yeah, he has his Jace.
The Black Jace.
The Black Jace Bellerin. Which actually has an advantage in his deck.
Yeah.
And with an actual advantage on it.
All right, there's another Stoneforge Mystic for Sam Stoddard. And now we're almost certainly going to see Batterskull, right?
I mean, put that War and Peace in the bottom. I can't imagine he's going to go and grab it now.
Let's see. Yep, there's the Batterskull. Now Anthony will see what he finds off of that Dark Tutelage.
Heard some people saying that they didn't want to call Cawblade anymore. They wanted to call it Batter because you don't get swords ever. You just get Batterskull every time.
Batterskull is pretty ridiculous. All right, there's a Duress. Takes away that Batterskull.
That's huge.
That is absolutely gigantic. And now Sam has nothing. And there's a second Dark Tutelage for Anthony Eason.
Putting Anthony down to 13.
He's just going to... All right, so
he's not going to play.
He ups to not letting that tutelage. Maybe he's just afraid. Maybe he's like, well, this is the only way I could lose this game.
Well,
but I don't
you can also
know.
lose the game that way.
Yeah, I feel like there's plenty of ways you can lose this game. And the double cards from tutelage, I mean, 2 cards a turn is good, but it's not insurmountable. 3 cards a turn, that's really hard to beat.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't see the other tutelage come down that turn, but... Down comes a swamp. And there's an Immolating Soul Eater. And a Death Shadow for Anthony Eason. So Death Shadow is a 2/2?
Yes.
It's currently a 2/2. So better than Incarnate Phage. Alright, so Sam equips Squadron Hawk with the sword, plays a Spell Skite.
Ooh, that's not good.
And now he's going to connect. Strips Anthony of his last card, untaps all of his lands. Does Sam Stoddard have a killer follow-up? Well, it's got
It's a pretty good follow-up.
behind that.
And Sam Stoddard's board went from nothing
Yep.
and no cards in hand to this in 2 turns with no spell that affected this thing, and that's why Clawblade is so strong.
That's what Squadron Hawk does well. Clogs the board up, gets you a bunch of guys out of nowhere, and then with those swords, it's just so brutal. So Anthony pays a bunch of life there to keep his Death Shadow around, but Immolating Soul Eater bites the dust. And now Sam's going to knock Anthony to 5? To 4.
Ooh.
And now it's rough spot with that Dark Tutelage. Yeah, I don't know. I think Anthony's... All right, and he goes down to 3 from the tutelage. I think Anthony's done for this game. I don't think he has an answer. Yep, he packs him in.
Wow, I did not expect Anthony to lose that game. Sam had nothing in play, and Anthony was drawing 2 cards a turn.
Yep, it's just the reverse situation from